Good evening to all of you. So this is me, Shujat. So you can call me just Shujat sir. So I'm dealing with GS paper 3, and you know that paper, all papers of UPSC is having many topics in that. One particular paper is not having only one subject. So you're having many subjects, many topics are there within one paper itself. So I'm dealing with GS paper 3. Okay, GS paper 3. GS means General Studies paper 3. Apart from that, some important topics which are also mentioned in our prelims. If you see your prelim syllabus, it is written as environmental environmental issues. Okay, that is how it is written in your prelim syllabus. Whereas GS paper 3 consists of many subtopics. So you can say that economic development is there in this paper, environment is there in this paper, biodiversity is there, technology is there in this paper. Then we are having word disaster management was there, and security internal security. So what is the parts that I am going to deal with? So we are starting this one. So we are starting this part. This one is not there for me. Okay, so technology as such I'm not dealing it at present. So I am taking up environment, biodiversity and disaster management. Fine. So this is what we are going to learn. Okay. Economic development, environment, biodiversity, technology, disaster management and internal security. All these topics are a part of GS paper 3. Remember this. In this, what I am going to take up? I am going to take up these 3 topics: environment, biodiversity and disaster management. Of course, whenever we study about environment, we also study what? Ecology. Ecology. And when come to prelims, it is mentioned as environmental issues, environmental problems. A line is given to you. Okay. But the environment as a part of civils paper has been from 1978 itself. But they did not ever mention specially that this is the environment that you have to study. They did not mention it. Nowhere it was mentioned in the syllabus. But questions were asked. Questions were asked in the topics which are related to environment, which are related to ecology, which are related to what? Disaster management. It is in the year 2011 itself. Okay. In the year 2011, for the very first time, this particular part has been included in the prelims. You know that ours UPSC, the civil services 3-stage examination, prelims, mains and interview, right? So in the year 2011, it was the first year when the syllabus of the preliminary exam has been modified, and what was inserted was this one: environmental issues, its impact, okay, problems. Like that, one line was mentioned in the syllabus. Okay, but in the year 2011, paper 3 does not have these 3 topics. Okay, especially these 2 topics were not there in the GS paper 3 in the year 2011 only. For the very first time in the year 2011, environment as a part of your prelim syllabus was first incorporated. Okay. And in this year, there was no environment and biodiversity in the mains paper. It is only in the year 2013 environment has got a space in the GS paper 3 and they have included these topics under it. And they have included this topic. Okay. So that's why we generally say that if you want to refer to the GS paper 3 with regard to environment related questions, then you have to see from 2013. Why? Because from before 2013 there was no environment and biodiversity in the syllabus itself. Okay, so we don't have the questions. If you want to study or if you want to do any of the preliminary questions with regard to environment, you cannot go with from the 1991 1992 like that. Why? Because again, environment as a part of the prelims is included in the year 2011. So if you go through from the 2011 to 2018, that is also enough. That is also enough. So you can see the pattern. It's very nice. Only last 5 years are important. Okay. So environment as a prelims part included in the year 2011, environment and biodiversity as a mains part included in the year 2013. So you have to refer any questions with regard to environment biodiversity from 2013 onwards, with regard to prelims from 2011 onwards. Okay, don't type that environment ecology related last 10 years question, last 20 years questions. You will not get it. You will not get it. That kind of you do, if you're googling in that way, you will not get it. Okay, because there was no syllabus was there. Though I told that they are the part of the prelims preliminary examination, but very scatteredly, randomly, one or the other 2-3 questions were picked up by the UPSC as a general knowledge questions, questions, not as such specifically you have to go and do the studies of environment. It's not like that. Remember this. So these are the 3 topics we are covering. Okay. Now let us see the weightage of this particular part, environment. With regard to preliminary examinations, nearly till now, almost like 14 to 20 questions have been on environment. 14 to 20 questions have been on environment. And of course, biology, physics, chemistry, a part of it also I have included. If you properly exclude the biology related questions also, minimum 10 questions are guaranteed in the preliminary part. Minimum 10 questions are guaranteed in the preliminary part. Whereas when with respect to the mains, okay, economic development occupies the major, a lion's share, you can say, or the major share of your weightage of the examination. So if we have seen the previous year question, economic development, economy generally takes much of the marks. And followed by technology, like in that space you are having, you know that our technology is divided into 3 important technologies, you know this. Okay, one is what? Strategic technologies, another one is advanced technologies, or you can mention it as emerging also, and the last one is IPR, intellectual property rights. Fine. In strategic we are having what? Defense is there, space is there, and atomic energy is there. Okay. In advance we are having what? Nanotechnology is there, biotechnology is there, and robotics, or you can also call this branch as artificial intelligence. IBR is very common, intellectual property right, that is a descriptive, that is altogether a different one. Okay, with regard to your mains marks, okay, mains weightage of questions, as I have told you that majority of the mains questions in the GS paper 3 belongs to economy. Later, next important is technology. Next important, they are asking continuous questions on defense, space, nano, bio, etc. Continuous questions. Robotics was the 2017 question itself. Okay, so remember this. And sir, what about your dealing environment? So what is your weightage? You can ask me. So 2 questions or 1 question, that's all. So to be honest, I don't want to make it very pressurize it. because you don't have to take any pressure. So to be very honest, though it's my subject, I'm telling you very clearly that maximum 2 questions. One question is anyhow guaranteed because mentioned in syllabus. One question they have to give for sure. That is a very funny thing. You don't have to again worry about it. One question is for sure. Maximum of 2 questions I have seen. Okay, remember this. But what is important to us is this part. Prelims part is very, very, very important. Remember this. Okay, because it is a game changer. It is a decider whether you write mains or not. For preliminary examination, you need to definitely work very, very hard on the environment and ecology subject. And whatever you're learning in the prelims, okay, by closing your eyes also you can write the mains question itself, because questions are no different from the prelims. Okay, questions are no different from the prelims syllabus. Directly you can write it. Now, a very simple thing, a very terminology that I will discuss with you. Generally, we say that in our syllabus, or what is the environment issue? What is the meaning of environmental issue or environmental issue? Before knowing that, you have to separate the words. Environmental issue means what? Then you will see the crisis. Environmental crisis means what? Okay, then environment conservation, preservation, management, many things are there. Okay, we'll discuss it later on. Let us understand what is a environmental issue. Okay, issue means what? A general English word. It means a problem. It means a problem. So we have simplified it in the form of what? It is a problem. Fine, very good. Then you need to understand this word that is called as what? Environment. So environment is anything that is surrounding an individual. That is surrounding an individual. You, me, whatever it is there beside us, that is only environment. If I ask you, so what is there around you? Then you may say, sir, you are there first of all. So you as a human beings are there. It means you are there. Okay, my mom is there, my dad is there beside me. Okay, fine. What else you will see, Mr. Santosh? That I'll ask you. Then you will say that, sir, a glass is there in my home, dining table is there, tube light is there, a bag is there. Okay, if I go out, there is a plants are there. If I go out, dogs are there. Nothing but animals are there. Right or wrong? Absolutely right. Okay. So what else you'll see? So some intellectuals, okay, the more clever students, they may also answer in this way. So this anyhow, it is okay. This anyhow, it's very general thing. Then some people will stress your mind. They stress their mind more. They exercise their mind more, and they'll come to very good things in the form of what? Sir, soil is also, I can see, very different thing. Okay, so air is also I can see, which I'm breathing. Sir, I can see water also, sir. I can see it. Sir, there is light is also there. So I can see it. Very fine. This is what we need actually. This is what I needed. The sum total of all these things surrounding an individual, it is its environment. It is its environment. Fine. Okay. This environment, this individual is deriving or satisfying its needs, or fulfilling its needs from the various things which are surrounding it. Right or wrong? He needs some soil, okay, to grow the crops and to eat. Right or wrong? If soil is not there, how the crops are grown? So he is dependent on soil. Very good, sir. Then this individual will contact with air also, because we breathe oxygen, we give carbon dioxide. So very good, sir. Thumbs up, sir. Right? Air is also important. This individual needs water to survive. Thirst is there. No, we have to get it done with this. So yes, sir, this person is again dependent on water also. Fine. This individual also needs light, because to see objects you need light. If I put you in a darker room and ask you to find out a pencil, can you find it out? No. Generally we are blind. Why we are blind? Because without light we cannot see. Okay, that's why we have lights are there in our homes. If they're not there, you cannot see a person, you cannot identify a person, you cannot carry out any of the activities. Very common. Yes, sir, this person is also dependent on lights, sir. That is also fine. Okay, fine. Is it this person dependent on animals? Yes, sir. Of course, he needs meat, he needs protein, so definitely he'll take it. Animals also, if not for consumption, he'll tame it. Right? It is also one of the kind of livelihood opportunity to that person, right or wrong? Livelihood opportunity in the sense that he can tame a dog, or he can tame an elephant, and he can put into a circus and earn some money. So it is his livelihood also. Some people have a livelihood, and some people use the animals for the consumption. In a way, the milk producer, what they do, they are also deriving their livelihood, means they are living on the animals only. Right or wrong? They have to squeeze the milk and they'll pack it and they'll serve it to us, they'll get some money, so it's called as livelihood. Livelihood means when you do when you do any activity for surviving. When you do any activity for surviving, it is called as livelihood. If I say you that farmers depends on agriculture, means agriculture is the livelihood of the farmers, because they derive their income from the agriculture. Of course, you are not the jack of all the things, right or wrong. You yourself cannot produce tomatoes, you yourself cannot produce potatoes, you yourself cannot produce milk, you yourself cannot produce what bulbs, you yourself cannot produce chairs, benches. So you need money as a medium of exchange. You are deriving that money through your agriculture field, and you are spending on various what products or items which are satisfying your needs. So this individual is also depends on what? Animals. Okay, then plants, very important, sir. Plants are very important, sir. Why? We need vegetables, and there are many animals are there, such as rabbits, such as deer. They are not depend on animal food. They don't take meat or flesh as their food. They generally take the leaves of the plants. So for their survival, plants are important. For our survivors, to fulfill our nutrient requirement in the form of minerals, we get vegetables. If you eat, you will get minerals like spinach, palak ki bhaji, you will get what? Iron. So vegetables are a source of again minerals to us. For us it is important, so it is for that purpose. No, my dear, they're important. Not only for that. Plants are important for making of gums. Plants are also important for making of medicine. Plants are also important for making of what? Resins, tannins, teak, timber, furniture, and they take up the carbon dioxide. Very, very important, which animal cannot do. We are dependent on animals in not that way. We are more dependent on plants, because the oxygen that we get to survive is coming from plant. Suppose I don't want to go into the detail of each and everything. Okay, suppose if all these things are, if any of these things are destroyed by you. Suppose there is a water is there in your home. I came and I have put all the dirt into the water. What will happen? Can you survive with that water? What I have done to the water? I, as a human being, came to your home and put lot of dirt in your water. Now you don't have the water to eat. Oh, sorry, water to drink. Right, right or wrong? Then do you survive? No. A species, a human, you will die one or the other day because of loss of, okay, because of not fulfilling your thirst. Right or wrong? In the same way, what we are doing, we are polluting all the rivers in the form of dumping waste, in the form of sewerage, in the form of drainage, in the form of plastics, etc. The living organisms under the water, fishes, they are also destroyed. They are also getting killed. And the water, whatever the water which is we're drinking, using for drinking purpose, is consisting of lot of chemicals, and that chemicals are going into our body, and we are getting lot of sickness, ailments, illness, deformities, diseases. Okay, so that is called as a issue in the environment. One of the any of this is what? Any of this degrade. You know that grade means grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Highest grade is grade 1, right? So what we are doing, the water is very pure, grade 1, degrade. You are polluting it in such a way that it is slowly getting degraded, means getting dirtier, which is not used for consumption. If you use it, you will die. Because of what? Chemicals in that, dirt in that, that we call it as polluted water. Okay, in the same way. So that becomes the environmental issue. Okay, so this is what our environmental issue is there. Again, if I ask you that, okay, my dear students, if I say you that there are many number of things which are around us, so can you please classify them? Okay, classify into any number of categories you want to classify, because saying this, you are having a mic, you are having a bulb, you are having a marker, you are having a paper around you, it's very difficult. Please classify it so that we'll read it separately, and we'll know that which is harming the environment more. Are we harming the environment? Our environment is harming us. Okay, and ultimately we have to get a balance, right? So, and one of the clever person, again a clever student who has already maybe had a coaching before, or who might have good academics maybe, or maybe he's very sharp. It's anything, it can happen. So he will fast he'll just exercise his mind, and he'll come up with a own answer and saying that, yes sir, we can classify the whatever you have written, we can classify into two important types. One is living, another is non-living. Then thumbs up, right? Fine. Of course, plant, dog, animals, these are all living. You, this is also living. A glass, dining table, the bag, all this. Okay, whatever I have not rounded up. So if I round it off, then it will be similar, will be there. So whatever is rounded here, they are all living. Whatever is not rounded here, they are what? Non-living. Very good. So we are more importantly in our biodiversity, in our environment, we are concerned with living more, and with regard to non-living, we are concerned with these three. We are concerned with these three. So total syllabus will be around this particular plant, animals, and our interaction with them, because we interact or not. We give oxygen, we give carbon dioxide to the plant. Plant will give us oxygen. For plant, carbon dioxide is the input, and the output from that is nothing but oxygen, right? That we take it. So we interact, right or wrong? We interact with the environment. We also interact with the soil, right? We till the soil, we plough the soil. Again, we plant a crop over there. Again, we'll get a what grain, or we'll get a flower, we'll get a fruit, whatever the crop you are growing, that you will get. So we interact with the soil, we interact with the water, we interact in the form of what? How we interact with our water? We interact with the water in the form of what? By establishing the power projects. Okay, the electricity which you are generating from water is called as hydel power. So we interact with them. So we continuously interact with all this non-living things. Okay, and in environment we don't call it as living and non-living. In biology we call it as living and non-living. Okay, in environment we call it as one which has life is called as biotic, and the one which has no life, it is called as abiotic. Bio means life, having life. Abio, no life, non-life. Okay, we classify in this way. This is one important terminology that I have explained to you. Fine. Okay, then it is okay. Let us see some analysis of our papers. Okay, first of all, I will be just writing it out. How definitely in our future classes, I will be giving you the detailed handout of syllabus that I am going to cover. Each and every point that I am going to discuss with you will be given to you beforehand itself. Okay, when I am coming for the next classes, before that only, I will be giving you the total syllabus of my class, what I am going to cover, even these scratch things from the simplest things to the very big concepts also. I will be writing it and giving to you, okay, in the Word document. Fine. So you don't have to worry about the content that I am covering. The content I am covering is beyond anybody has ever covered in any of the environmental books you are referring, any of the academic books, because it is sum of everything. It is comprehensive notes of each and every books which are available, okay, in the market, and also from the newspapers, from the government reports. My notes is always a updated notes. You remember this. If I am coming for tomorrow, no, today by night I will search that is there any new developments are there on that particular topic or not. Okay, so the minute, even 1 minute before, if anything is getting updated before I come to class, I will be incorporating each and every updated points in that. So what I mean here is, don't become a research fellow, don't do much of the exercise on the on the news, in the newspaper. What I am giving to you, it is already updated. Okay, don't waste your time. Suppose I have discussed the, suppose a Paris summit is there 2015 which has happened. It is relevant to at present also. Why? Because it has goals to be completed by 2030 also, right? So it is relevant, and every other day with regard to global climate, global warming, climate change related aspects, their meetings are happening. Conference of Paris we call them as. Okay, they are generally, regularly, oftenly they are happening. So it is a continuous okay, effort from the world nations to strive a goals, targets, which we'll discuss later on. So if I am discussing about Paris summit, then that particular, I am not discussing about what happened in that year. I am going to discuss about what throughout the years happened, and till yesterday what happened. Till yesterday, is any new developments are there? So my only suggestion for you is, do not update anything. I am getting you the updated ones only. Apart from the static is very common, static knowledge, static data, it's anyhow I will be giving you. But updation, don't search anything. If you have any doubts, you can cross check, that is okay. But more and more information I want to know, more and more information I want to know. You need to understand one thing, that when you are done with my subject, one my class, then if you want to cross check 2-3 days, you do it. You will not find anything beyond my notes, that is for sure. Okay, remember this. Fine. So in environment and ecology, first of all, we are starting with environment only. We are starting with what? Environment. Fine. So definitely I am going to deal with terminologies. Okay, nearly about 100 terminologies I will be discussing. Okay, the first thing that we are going to do is learning the terminologies in environment. What is abiotic? What is biotic? We need to write in a proper way. Then we'll discuss about lots of what. Okay, environmental issues, we will learn about them. Okay, here we'll be learning about soil pollution. Here we'll be learning about air pollutions. Okay, all pollutions kind of things we are learning about. What is water pollution? Noise pollution is not important for us. Okay, then we are going to learn about the protocols. Is any protocols are there? Yes sir, Montreal protocol is there, Basel conventions are there. Okay, convention to combat biodiversity is there, Nagoya protocol is there, Cartagena protocol is there, many are there. Protocols, convention, treaties. Okay, international alliances like UNFCCC, international alliances, international solar alliances, which we are spearheading it, international alliances, international programs. Okay, then national programs, national initiatives. Okay, then we are discussing about what? Biodiversity, biodiversity conservation. Why did we lose the biodiversity conservation? Biodiversity, we are having a rich biodiversity, we are losing the biodiversity. What is the reasons of losing it and how we are going to conserve it? We should know it. And we are losing the biodiversity that will be given to us with the help of an organization, that is International Union for the Conservation of Natural and Natural Species, that we are going to discuss about it, that also. So yeah, the world is losing the biodiversity. Why we are losing the biodiversity and how much biodiversity we have lost, that will be given by the IUCN report, that we call it as red list. Later on we'll discuss. Then statutory bodies in our country, statutory bodies, international bodies and national bodies, these two we are going to cover. Okay, then apart from this, in conservation, we are going to learn about biosphere reserves, tiger reserves, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks. This all we are going to learn about again. Fine. So this is a general things that I have written on the board, what we are going to discuss, but a detailed version of each and every treaty or convention that we are going to learn. Even I will be mentioning that how many protocols I will be covering. Many are there. Traffic is there. convention to come back, desertification is there. Okay, this Ramsar convention for wetlands is there. And apart from that, we are also going to learn about some vulnerable regions, we can call it in this way, or rich biodiversity regions also we can call in this way, which can be what? Rich biodiversity regions. Mangroves, okay. Coral reefs, okay. Okay, wetlands, this is also fine. Estuaries, biodiversity hotspots, biodiversity hope spots. Many are there. Okay, many are there. Much of the syllabus, but you need to cover. I don't need to write all of these because syllabus will be given to you for sure. Okay, as far as my things are concerned, I will be giving you that. Let us see some analysis what happened in the year 2016, 17, 18 with regard to the paper, with regard to our prelims paper. Fine. In 2016, in 2017, and in 2018, what was happening with regard to environment with respect to prelims? With respect to what? Prelims. In 2016, one question was asked on the protocols. They have given 3 protocols: Nagoya, Cartagena, and one more which was given was Kyoto. 3 protocols they have given, 3 options they have given, and they asked us to match. Okay, like A, B, C. 3 protocols, 3 options. Then they asked, like, this is A, B, C. No, this is, you suppose 1, 2, 3. 1B, okay, 2A, like that they have given you. So one question was there on the protocols here. Remember this. Okay. And another question was there on another protocol which is called as greenhouse protocol. This was also there. Agenda 21, this was asked. United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. Desertification. It's not the certification that you do for the MS Office. It is another certification. Desertification means when a land which is growing crops nicely, happily, a land area is able to grow the crops, but what happened over a period of time, because of your activities, not good activities, but because of your bad activities, okay, what happened, this particular area is not able to grow the crops. When the productivity of a land area decreases over a period of time, and a point will come when this land is become a barren land. Okay, when a productive land become a non-productive land, then that is called as what? Desertification. Okay, so a question was there with regard to protocols. So around 4 questions were there with regard to protocols, and in 2017 they asked one more protocol, and in 2018 also they asked with regard to United Nations, okay, momentum on climate change. This question was asked, and one more protocol or one more international convention was there, UN page. Okay, regarding this we'll learn about it. My only intention of doing all this stuff is to know that what to be read. So see, 2016, 2017, 2018, there are international conventions are regularly asked. International conventions are regularly asked. It means what? Whenever you are trying to read, you have to stress on what? International conventions. You cannot give an overview. You have to read in detail. Remember this. You cannot give an overview, because every year you can see that questions are coming with regard to international protocols, conventions, treaties. Remember this. That is my intention. Okay, that you should never, whenever any protocol, if you see in the book, write it down, a new one. Whenever you see a protocol in the newspaper, if I did not give you, write it down. That is your duty. Okay, my classes will be over. After that, what you will do? You cannot sit just like that, right? Sir told you that protocols have been a part of the have been a part of asking of the UPSC pattern. Then you should read it and never a overview on it, because you have to properly read it. Minimum 5-6 points in a protocol. Minimum 5-6 points in one protocol is very, very issue. And whenever you are learning about protocol, you need to understand one thing: these are international protocols. And first particular thing you need to know that Is India is a member of that protocol? That is important. Is India is a member of that protocol? It is important. Another important is whether a protocol is legally binding or not. Legally binding. Binding means the country is binded. Means those country which are a part of that particular convention or protocol, okay, they are binded legally. In the way, what I mean here is, if they don't what follow the targets, goals, or various provisions of that protocols, then action will be taken against them. Maybe exports, maybe import sanctions, export like that. They don't fund that country. Okay, no moment of required. Like they will stop the power supply. They will stop the diesel like that. A sanctions are nothing but prohibitions, restrictions on that country will be imposed. Okay, that is called as legally binding. So whenever UPSC doesn't ask any question, okay, any sentence on this protocol with regard to in which year this was established, when this protocol has come into force, or when it was proposed, there was no such question, because that is a part of very small chiller questions. Other exams, UPSC concepts. So India is a member of any of the protocol? Yes. If it is there, yes, tick, right? It is legally binding or not? Yes or no. It depends on the protocol. If India is a member of that protocol, does India is doing anything? Yes, India is a part of protocol, means definitely India has got some programs or schemes within the country, right? What are the programs? Okay, that like climate change is United Nations Framework on Convention of Climate Change, UNFCCC. It is a global convention to deal with the global warming. That's all. To deal with global warming. In India is a member of it. So what India is doing in response to that convention, India is showing to the world that, see, I got a national action plan on climate change. NAPCC, we got it. They got UNFCCC, and we are showing to the world, see, we want to genuinely be a part of the reduction of global warming emissions in the world, and we want to save our mother earth. Like that, we are also saying to the world, and in response to that, we started what? National action plan on climate change. World species are dying, biodiversity we are losing, many plants are before they were surviving, now if we see that plants are not there, now if we see that animals are not there, over the years we are losing the animals. Okay, are we a part of that? Yes, India is a part of that. When we are a part of that, what we are doing? Yes, we are doing, we got biosphere reserves, we got wildlife sanctuaries to protect these species, right or wrong? So remember this concept. Okay, India is a member. Okay, legally binding or not depends on the point. Then if India is a member, India is doing anything or not? If India is not a member, why India is not a member? There is some problem will be there. No, questions on the mains will be based on why India is not a member, why India is a member. Okay, that kind of questions will come over there. So we will study in a conceptual way later on. What I mean here is, you need to definitely read about protocols very, very thoroughly. Okay, the next one is with regard to international alliances. Okay, international alliances or international partnership. International partnership. There was in 2016 there was a question on TEEB. It's a, I don't want to go into detail of it. It's a international alliance. Okay, there was a question on International Solar Alliance. There was a question on SDG. There was a question on Paris Summit. There was a question on INDC. There was a question on UN READ program. Okay, UN READ program. Remember the C. These many questions have come. Always this you see this part. Paris Summit. From the Paris Summit only Sustainable Development Goals came. Means those people who don't even know the Sustainable Development Goals, you just remember that a summit happened in the year 2015. Okay, in Paris. In that summit, important decisions were taken. Important decisions were taken. One such decision was SDG. Another such decision was INDC. So Paris Summit, one question was there. SDG, one more question was there. INDC, one more question was there. What I mean here is, if any If you're writing in 2019, if in 2019 or in this year also, if any kind of summits happening, if any kind of summits are happening, into all our Prime Minister Honorable Modi is also going, and something is happening, then you should be noting it out. Okay, so see how many, 1 2 3 4 5 6 questions were asked in that. So in here in 2017, what was there? Global action on climate change, this was asked. Okay, and climate and clean clean air coalition. So again, a international coalition or partnership was envisaged. International alliance, these many questions. Here none. In 2018, no question was asked in international alliances, but pattern is there that they will be asking. 6 are there, 2 are there. Again, you can have in none is there. Again, you can have 6. So on international conventions, you have to be thorough. International partnership, international summits, very very important. Summits, okay, very very important. Okay, then with regard to, as I have told you, that we are first starting terminologies. Why we are starting terminology means, with on the basis of terminologies, many questions were asked. Okay, with in 2016, with regard to terminologies, okay, the terminologies which were asked, the terminology which were asked here, a terminology which was asked was net metering. It is more or so a energy related. We do have renewable energy discussions on it. So energy is our syllabus only. We got one question on it. Tell me, what is the meaning of net metering? On that, a simple question was asked. Okay, it's a term which was properly given in 2 sentences. Okay, here they have given bioremediation, carbon sequestration, okay, and biological oxygen demand. Remedy means cure. You are curing something with the help of living organism, because bio, so living organisms are helping in curing what? Air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. That is called as what? When you are using biological organisms such as plants, okay, to cure anything, to treat anything, then we call it as bioremediation. Very simple terms were asked. So see, I don't want to go into detail because we have to read it. Okay, I'm just saying that how terminology important. Any new terminology, if it comes in the paper, write it down. If I don't give you, that is it. Your notes will be complete. Till yesterday, I will anyhow update. The last day of my class, I will update the next like if I am finishing it off on, let's suppose next month 30, I will be finishing it off. Next month 29th, your notes will be updated. Okay. Then what here? Here see, again, they've asked some terminologies. Carbon fertilization, genetically modified mustard. Okay, critical wildlife habitat. Critical wildlife habitat. So you got it. Every year you got a terminology. Every year you got a terminology. So you have to concentrate on the terminologies for sure. Okay, for sure. Okay. Then with regard to international, this wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves. Okay. Here they asked about no question was asked with regard to wildlife sanctuaries or biosphere reserves. Wildlife means life which is there in the wild. Means those animals which are not tamed, which are not domesticated, they are called as wild animals. They live in natural environment given by the God. Okay, they are called wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves. Here, when one question was there regarding tiger reserve, and in 2018 we got another. They asked you about Pakri wildlife sanctuary. Pakhuri wildlife sanctuary. Understood? What I mean here means, definitely you should be, whenever you see any biosphere reserve regarded discussion in the newspaper, whenever you see any discussion, any information related to any wildlife sanctuary, any national park, any biosphere reserve, any tiger reserve, you should be knowing it. You should be knowing it and noting down and updating your notes continuously. Okay. So see why I am saying you this. From tomorrow onwards, whenever you search the papers, no, what to read. Okay, this is the front page. Okay, fine. Suppose you see a, okay, this is regarding wildlife sanctuary. Oh, sir told that wildlife sanctuary is important. Okay, write it down. So you will get a what connection. For that connection, all these exercises, okay, this you can also do, but I know that you will not do. I have seen many students like that, they don't do it. Okay, they'll think that they will read it like that. I know, I was there with you. I was there when where you are sitting. I was also there. Okay, once upon a time, 7 years back. Okay, fine. So I also thought in the same way. Okay, I know there was nobody at the time to tell me all these things. This kind of things doesn't happen at that time. Very online was anyhow not there, offline was there, and whatever we used to get, we will feel that that is only platinum, gold and silver. Okay, because that is what we got, that is what we have learned. Later on we understood that there are many things are there, then we did it by ourselves. Okay, with regard to, suppose if you want to control water pollution, air pollution, there should be, if you are to monitor any tiger like that, there should be one body should be there. No, that body should be looking after that activity. Government cannot do for everything, right? So with regard to any statutory bodies, did they be related to environment, related to only environment? Did they ask any question on the statutory bodies? Let us see. Yes, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, one question has came. National Ganga River Basin Authority, one question has already come. In the year 2017, no question was asked. In the year 2018, National Green Tribunal, Central Pollution Control Board, these two bodies, jumbled sentences was asked. Okay, two statement questions were asked. So whenever you see any body with regard to environment issue, with regard to any environment problems, to solve any environment problems, what you need to do, you have to take it down, because they have been a pattern of, okay, asking from the UPSC. So whenever you are having statutory bodies with regard to environment, you have to take it down for sure. Okay, then miscellaneous kind of questions were there. Okay, with regard to committees, there was one question on here, one question with regard to Sailesh Naik committee, it was here. Then no questions has been asked. Why? Because in that year, a committee, at that time, a committee which was appointed on the environment related aspect has released the report, in the year 2016. That's why they have asked a question. Okay, in these 2 years, no environment related report was released, so no question was asked. What I mean here is, any development, anything which is related to environment, which is in current news, will be your question. So statics are covered in the form of what? Dev terminologies. And statics are covered in the form of what? Conventions. And emerging and the current affairs are covered in the form of what? Various other committee reports, environment performance index, many things which will be coming, okay, one or the other month, like that you can refer it. Okay, so whenever we are going ahead with our syllabus, okay, definitely you will be having the syllabus copy with you. So what you have to do, you have to take down, this is your book and this is your A4 size paper. Either you leave this part, don't write anything, write this much only, again turn the paper, again put a line here, don't write anything. Okay, why? Because after I complete my classes, if any updation will come, where you will write, you have to write here, or else if not here, you put a line here and write here. Okay, for updation you should definitely leave your whatever it is, some space. Otherwise, every after 7 papers or 8 papers, you leave 2 papers. That is also fine. Your note should be at one place. One side should fit all information. One size of your book should fit all information. Here current affairs, there protocols, there static data. Okay, there some point is there, and here you are writing like this. Okay, then here you are writing like this. Here you are writing like this. All wrong methods. All wrong method. 2019 you are going to write. Why you are worrying? Happily you write it. Properly you take my notes. Okay, the notes will be anyhow amazing option. You can quote it anyhow. Okay, but complete your notes, and no classes of mine should be missed, because I will be starting my lectures with very simple terminologies, and we'll go ahead The way you will develop the concept now, then you will understand, oh, you got the marks, 10 marks in the prelims for sure. Prelims for sure. I have that success record of asking the 80 to 90% questions will come from my notes, that my record is there. Okay, we'll go in a very slow manner, in a very proper manner. I will be telling you the definitions also. We'll discussing cause of the definition, effects of the definition, sources of the definition. I have just written down some terminologies and explained you some definition. It is not the end. Back side, front side, lateral side, every other side. I will I will round it up. Okay. I'll make a kidnapping of that. I'll round it up. Properly I will do that. Don't worry. But suggestions need to be followed. Then only you can go ahead with your reading. And with regard to textbook, no need. My notes you remember, my notes you refer continuously, you don't need any textbook. That is again guaranteed. Read my notes. One topic is completed no in my notes, then you read any textbook, then you read any material of any other very reputed one, just like Arts Institute. Okay, then you will find that your notes is having more information, that I can guarantee that. So my notes, if you are referring more and more time, that is far better to you. Okay, and because that is the end, because I will be referring NIOS, I will be referring NCRTs, I will be referring IGNU, I will be referring government reports, I will be referring test books, I will be referring many number of things. Okay, reports of the international, reports of the national, everything I am only referring it. Why do you refer then? What is the need for you to work on it? No need. When I am doing it, you just take the spoon feeding happily. Don't stress yourself. Whatever time you are left, read it many times, read something else. Okay, as because you're writing in 2019, happily, slowly, properly, you need to complete your syllabus. Okay, with regard to disaster management, the kind of the orientation with regard to disaster management is a very small topic. Okay, disasters is nothing but destruction of property will be there, and whenever a disaster happen, it will lead toward loss of life too. Why we are learning disaster as a subject altogether means, if we go back to 30 years 20 years before, the floods, droughts, cyclones, okay, this what landslides, snow avalanches, these are not the regular affair. Okay, they don't used to come in the news, very hardly they used to appear in the news. Nowadays, every other day you will see one or the other crisis or disaster, you will see. That's why we are studying disaster as a separate discipline, because it is famous. When something is very famous, then definitely we have to study about it. Okay, if a star is famous, if the Shah Rukh Khan is famous, then we talk about it. If it's not famous, we don't talk about it. In the way, disasters has become very famous because they are more visible to us nowadays, so we are all talking about it, and they are not doing any good to us, they're harming us. That's why we need to properly manage them in the form of what? Management means either you prevent the disaster, means not let the disaster to happen, or what you do is, if you are not able to stop it, you try to reduce the impact of the disaster. Two things only you can do in management: prevent it or reduce the impact. Reducing the impact got a terminology that is called as mitigation. Prevent the disaster or mitigate the disaster, that is only you can do in disaster management. Apart from that, you cannot do anything. So we'll be studying about disaster management, where are the various kinds of disasters, committee reports on the disasters, the classification of disasters, high powered committee was there, 31 kinds of disasters were there, disaster management authority is there, NDMA is there, SDMA is there, a layer of hierarchy is there. Okay, in case of any event, who should be first responding? Okay, communities first responders. Okay, what kind of systems are placed in order to prevent the disasters? Okay, and what are the various legislations? I have not told. In environment, many legislations are there, my dear madam and sir. Wildlife Protection Act is there, Environment Protection Act is there, Air Pollution Water Control Act is there, many acts are there. With regard to the NDMA has only got one act, that is National Disaster Management Authority 2005 Act 2005. Okay, so that one legislation, we'll see the evolution of disaster related legislations, and the hierarchy, the structure, the organization, the national disaster response force will go, where we will study what that force will do. Okay, how to build the capacity. Okay, if in case of disaster, which, when a disaster happen, what will happen? The railway lines will go off, the telecommunication lines will go off, the water facility will go off, the electricity will go off. Okay, the healthcare, the hospitals will go off. So what is the priority work that government should do in after the post disaster? Whether they, sorry, whether they put the electricity lines first, or telecommunication line first, or water line first, what is the thing that government have to do at the first instance? So that kind of things, a very simple chapter, very wonderful chapter, you can easily get done with that. Also disaster management, very too easy, one question compulsory in the mains, one question all the years with regard to DM, with regard to environment, one questions are very very sure. But sometimes two questions are also coming. Sometimes, if you're lucky, then you can get done with 12, like 50 marks are in your hand. Easily 50 marks will be in your hand. So thank you so much, guys. Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity for this orientation. I'll be soon be seeing you with the rest of our proper syllabus. Okay, thank you. See you soon.